Hello and welcome to Reality TV Cringe. I am one of your hosts, Delia, here with my real tight homegirl and my daughter, Beatrice.
Hi.
Let me just tell you, host, something. We just recorded this entire episode.
An hour and a half.
And we recorded the Speak Pipe episode.
Yep. Like we normally do.
And the whole thing was trashed in our system.
The whole was fucked.
Like it was fucked beyond repair.
We couldn't even do anything with it.
Irredeemably.
So this is our second take.
Yes.
And we give no fucks.
Yeah,
right?
we're just going to roll with it. We're
Yep.
going to do the very best that we can. And hopefully Mercury and Gatorade and all those other planets. Is Mercury and Gatorade?
Yeah, and Venus and Mars and I think Saturn too.
Oh,
and the moon's in
Lord.
fucking Taurus or some shit.
Oh, Lord.
Girl.
So maybe that's why it happened. But so we are re-recording this for your listening and your viewing pleasure.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. No, but I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to do it, Beatrice.
Me
Stop
too.
complaining.
Complaining?
Always bitching over there.
Oh my God.
Such a Leo. Wow.
Back in the day when we used to record this shit, sometimes she would make me re-record whole episodes because she thought we would be better on the second take.
And
so
wasn't I right, though?
We'd be here for like 2-3 fucking hours.
Wasn't
just
I
for
right,
one
though?
episode. Sometimes.
Yeah, well, I thought we did great.
I know, we did
had
really great.
episodes, but like hopefully we can redo the magic,
If
babe.
this shit is fucked again,
well, then
I'm
nobody
gonna
gets
flip that.
anything. Absolutely not.
it's canceled.
Yes. Okay, so we are here to talk Sister Wives, honey.
Yeah,
We
again.
are currently recapping a rewind season,
Mm-hmm.
specifically season 6. It is the season of the My Sister Wives closet. It is the season of a bunch of kids going to college.
Nobody cares.
And it is the season of the cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And the wet bar.
Juicy.
And funding the loan.
Yes.
So we're having a whole lot of fun. Thank you for joining us. Now, before we get into the recap, we must remind you to please, hide it, hide your kids. This is a politically incorrect podcast. We say a lot of vulgar, profane, idiotic things, and we're not going to apologize to the likes of y'all.
No.
So if you're sensitive,
Go away. Why are you even here?
you might want to find yourself another dumpster.
Bye.
But if you're ready to send some of these brown kids off to uni, welcome to this dumpster.
And if you like what we do over here and all of the hard work we put into this podcast, please be sure to follow us on Instagram at Reality TV Cringe and join us on Patreon, patreon.com/Reality TV Cringe. We have ad-free content up on there.
What?
If y'all hate all the ads over here, we've got uncensored video
What?
pods, and we also have tons, and emphasis on tons of bonus content.
We do. And currently we are recapping Couples Therapy Season 1 with Dr. Orna.
We love her.
We just switched over from audio recaps to full-on video recaps.
Where
so
we
you
watch
get
it
to
with
see
you.
the rage in our face as we are watching the show. We're also covering Thousand Pound Best Friends.
Speaking of tons.
Which, that is so rude. Which, by the way, is so entertaining and we're having a great time.
It's great.
Plus, we have a backlist of so much content that you would have
So
weeks
much.
of entertainment with.
So much.
If you were so inclined to support us on Patreon.
Thank you.
So consider it. I don't know. Just think about it. Pray
It's
about
only
it.
$5.
Pray about it to Mormon God and Kolob.
$5.
See what he has to say about it.
Thank you.
Now, if you are watching on YouTube, first and foremost, you look fantastic.
You are so hot.
Please do not forget to like and comment and share and subscribe because truly everything you do helps us to grow. And when we're growing, we're getting fatter. And when we're fatter, we're taking up more space on the planet.
Yeah.
And guess what? The planet needs us now more than ever.
They do.
So the bigger the better.
Yeah.
Thank you for your help in advance.
Thank you.
Okay, again, we are in season 6. We are on episode 3 of Sister Wives. This episode entitled
Big Boy Panties.
Big Boy Panties. Because Cody's got to put them big boy panties on if he wants this My Sister Wives closet to work.
He do.
So I don't know about you,
What?
but I am currently envisioning Cody in panties.
Like little lacy Victoria's Secret panties?
Yes, not like briefs or
No,
anything
no.
that
Like women's underwear.
a dude would wear, like women's underwear.
Oh my God,
Like,
maybe
he
he
would
likes
look
that.
great.
Maybe that's where all of Robin Brown's Victoria's Secret money went.
Oh my gosh. 2 and 2 equals 4. That makes perfect sense.
All right. Well, we start off strong with a Mormon meeting at Mary's house, talking about My Sister Wife's Closet and their absolute failure
Whoa.
of an expo
Yeah.
in St. George, Utah.
Well, I mean, they were disadvantaged, Beatrice, because in case you forgot, St. George has a history with Mormons and stuff because it's right there in Utah.
Yeah.
You have some of them polygamists in the city or whatever, and you have people who are against polygamy. So the Browns were disadvantaged when they were going to St. George.
Yeah.
But a different expo might be better.
Yeah.
It might be a complete success.
Like a Christmas bazaar in Las Vegas.
Right.
Which they go to later, which we'll talk about later. But in this Mormon meeting with Mary, or at Mary's house, sorry, Christine says to Robin, you know what? I realized that I actually don't want a job and I don't want to work in real estate and I would love to invest more time in My Sister Wife's Closet. And Robin's like, yay!
Okay.
My favorite sister wife gets to join in.
Which equals Cody must have had a sit-down conversation with Christine where he told her, you better get your shit together. This is Robin's dream. This is a dream that was inspired by God himself.
Yeah.
And so you need to get in here, pull your weight, and help Robin so that she can help this family succeed.
Yeah, totally.
So Christine's like, okay,
Sure.
I'm willing to help.
Well, and she does come up with a pretty good idea of making t-shirts.
Right.
With their Sister Wives logo on there.
Which we have discussed
Over and
ad
over again.
infinitum for
Yeah.
weeks at this point. Not having known, I personally did not know that Christine was going to come up with this idea. This was our idea because we're not stupid people.
No, we're very
And we
smart.
see the landscape out there and you can make merch. We should totally make merch.
We should. Well, I've been making merch.
Well, no, but we're not
We're not
producing merch,
We've
which
got a
we should really be doing.
manufacturer.
If we were one of the sister wives,
Oh.
if I was on a show on TLC,
Are you
do
kidding
you know how much merch I would be producing and selling?
So much
And so
merch.
Christine has this brilliant idea. Like, let's just do something
T-shirts.
low cost, not like a whole lot of
Simple.
overhead. Let's do some t-shirts,
Yeah,
fam.
yeah.
And Cody turns to her on that couch and says, I don't want to sully our brand with some frumpy clothing.
Yeah. And Janelle even says the same thing. She's like, yeah, I don't know if our logo is ready for sale, but what about an apron?
With our logo on
With
it,
our logo on it.
as it is right now.
And Cody's like, that's a great idea. An apron would be perfect for My Sister Wife's Closet. I'm like, you guys are so fucking stupid. It's literally the name. In the name. It's a closet. What's in a closet? Clothes. Not
Yeah.
aprons.
Right.
I
Not
mean, maybe,
jewelry.
but- yeah, not jewelry.
No.
But
Like, and here's the problem. Like, you guys are starting this business and there's no cohesive through line with your products. Like, is it jewelry? Is it cooking stuff? Is it aprons? Is it t-shirts? Is it keychains? Is it trucker hats? What are you guys doing? It doesn't make any sense.
none of it makes any sense. And then when we go to the expo and we see the prices of their shit, that really doesn't make any sense.
No, it does not.
But Cody calls Christine's idea of t-shirts frumpy, meaning he's also calling Christine frumpy.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because t-shirts are not inherently frumpy.
No.
Everybody wears t-shirts. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I just feel like that was an insult directed at her.
And you notice Robin laughs at that a little bit. Because it's probably Robin telling Cody, yeah, you know, Christine's fucking fat and frumpy. She's probably saying that about all of the wives, honestly, at this point.
Do they have stretch marks?
Yeah, oh my
because
God.
I know you don't like stretch marks.
I don't have stretch marks. Come, fuck this breakdancing pussy. Seriously.
Oh my God.
It's so ridiculous.
So on the couch, Christine's like, okay, well, I wasn't like trying to sell frumpy t-shirts
Obviously.
or like frumpy skirts. I
Yeah.
was wanting the t-shirts to be cool. I don't know what you were thinking I was saying.
Yeah.
But like, thanks for just shitting all over me for absolutely no reason when I'm trying to contribute.
Honestly,
Sorry about it.
And it sounded like that was the first time Cody ever like said that comment to her, and he says it on TV on the couch in front of everybody. Like, how embarrassing is that? And then Christine's like, yeah, but Cody, you're like not marketing to everybody. You're only marketing to a specific audience. And Cody's like, no, we are marketing to everybody with our ball sack jewelry.
But they're not.
No, they're not.
And when we get to the expo, I know that you looked at the prices because we already recorded this and I learned it then.
Yeah.
Well, you looked at the prices and the prices are way too high.
Way too high.
And when you look at the demographic of your audience, you're talking about regular, degular people just watching something on TLC on a Sunday night. We don't have $400 to buy an SW terrible looking necklace.
Why would I ever spend my money on that?
But Cody wants to have a luxury brand.
Yep.
He wants sister wives, but like rich sister wives.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you look at Cody and how he dresses and the big ass houses. And now he's got this $2.1 million mansion. And he's got this stupid Lexus sports car. Like he's got
the
all
watches,
these things. Yep.
The artwork.
He's obsessed with
He's
looking
flashy
rich.
with money. And so
Yep.
he thinks that's what other people want as well.
Yeah.
But no, I'm watching your show. I'd like a keychain.
Yep.
I would like a cup.
A t-shirt
A
or
mug.
a book.
Yeah.
Like simple shit. We're simple people watching this simple show. And you ain't rich. You ain't the housewives.
No.
You ain't close
A lot of
to
them
the
housewives
housewives.
are also not rich though.
No, they're not. And
Yeah.
they're not also selling a bunch of really expensive jewelry. They're selling like sparkling water and also t-shirts and stuff. Like they know their audience. Cody's stupid.
They're all stupid.
Yeah.
And this is my higher point. Like they don't have actual business acumen. They don't have a brand identity.
No.
They don't understand what the heck that they're doing.
No.
Honestly, I think Robin just feels divinely inspired to go out and start this business. I think she trusts and has faith that Mormon God on Kolob is going to bless their business and she's going to be able to fund the entire family. Like she believes this. I believe she believes this.
Yeah.
And that's how I know this woman is stupid.
She is so stupid. And why would God bless demons?
Indeed.
I mean, honestly.
Hashtag facts.
And then we shift gears a little bit and we go to Janelle, who is going to get a weigh-in again with her personal trainer, but she brings her scale with her to the gym because she is, what she says, addicted to the scale, addicted to the numbers. She feels like whenever she steps on the scale, she's holding herself accountable so she's not overeating. But at the same time, every time she's been stepping on the scale for the last month or so, the numbers have been not moving at all. So she brings her scale and her personal trainer is like, yeah, cool, let's go to the parking lot. And I have this sledgehammer and let's beat the shit out of and destroy your scale because you're too addicted to it and you need to stop relying on this tool because you're losing weight. You are doing the hard work. So stop caring about the scale.
And I can see his point. And if she is super fixated on the numbers to the detriment of the process, well, then yes, a scale is not useful. But the way that Janelle was talking about the scale, it was around awareness and like needing to just be aware of where she was in terms of her weight, because if she didn't weigh herself, then her weight may get away from her. Because if you recall, and I don't know if you do, but I do, that first season or second season when they were trying to all get in shape while Robin was pregnant and didn't have to work out, but she could sit back there and judge everybody. We got Janelle getting on the scale and being, I think, 276 or 73 pounds or whatever it was. But like, she did look shocked that the number was that high. And it does seem that maybe because she wasn't weighing herself, maybe her weight got away from her. So now at this point, she's using the scale so she can at least have some control over what's happening with her own body. And like, I can appreciate that. I think that I personally wasn't convinced that she was addicted or had a problem to it. I just felt like she was using it, like you said, as a tool or a resource to track where she was going. But the hard truth about dieting is that you often hit plateaus and sometimes you work really, really hard, but like muscle weighs more than fat. So you're losing fat, and Janelle does look smaller.
She does.
She actually looks really good. And so she's clearly making progress, but because it's not showing up in the number on the scale, she's like getting down about it.
Well, and that's like the hard thing with a scale is like it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like, yeah, it can be a helpful tool in weight loss. And like if you have a healthy mindset with it, and if you have a healthy mindset with food in general, it can be really great, but it can also be really toxic and it can promote eating disorders and can be a really shitty thing and really demoralizing when you're trying to lose weight and exercise and all this shit. And you're like, oh my God, I'm doing all of the hard work. I'm counting my calories. I'm starving myself. And my scale is not moving an inch.
Yeah.
But she also brings her fat pants, and she brings a pair of pants like when she first started, and she tries them on at the gym after she completely destroyed her scale and realized how cathartic that was and how it actually felt really good to break stuff. And she wears her pants and she realizes, like, holy shit, I've lost a lot of weight. Like, she can put 2 fists in her pants and still have room. Like, she lost a lot off her waistline, which is great. And so, like, that's a really good reference to keep during your weight loss journey. Like, as long as you're not fitting back into those pants, like, you're doing good. You don't need to worry about the scale. And that's, like, the point of her personal trainer saying that to her. Like, don't worry about it. Like, you're doing great, sweetie.
Sure.
And she is.
Yeah, but I mean, I guarantee you she left from the gym and she went to the Walmart and she bought another scale.
Yeah, probably.
Because she uses the scale for her progress.
Sure.
And I can appreciate that personally.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. And then we have the whole family going to check out the homes and the cul-de-sac. And
they're doing
starting
a walk
to build
through.
up. Yep. They have walls up now, and they've got floors, and Mary's got her wet bar.
Oh my God.
And she's so happy
She's
about it.
so excited about this basic AF wet bar.
So ugly.
I'm like,
it's so ugly.
Okay, but if it makes you happy, that's fantastic. But
Sure,
like,
but it's ugly.
Yeah, I'm just like looking at the taste level. But she's very happy with that. But when they get to Janelle's house, apparently the builder has tiled through the living room and down the hallway where it was supposed to be carpet. And Janelle is not quite sure whether she likes it or not, although it is a more expensive option to have tile. And if it was a mistake, I would imagine that the builder would not make Janelle pay for it.
Yeah.
So Janelle's trying to determine whether she wants it or whether she doesn't. And this is when we have Mona, who is the realtor who's been helping them broker this deal. Mona is there with them looking at the homes. And so she picks up her phone to call the builder to find out whether this was a mistake or not. And I thought it was really interesting because Cody on the couch is like, Mona does not let us talk to the builder anymore.
Wonder why.
Because if you recall last week, Mona's like, how many times have you guys been going there? And Mary's like, I don't know, like 40 times already because they've got a scrapbook and I've got to be there every day.
Every single day.
And take pictures from a scrapbook and also probably look at all the details and talk to all the workers and the builders. So Mary's been delaying the process. Robin has been delaying the process, also Cody. And so Mona is now saying, only I can talk to the builder. Well, she talks to the builder and it does turn out that the tile in the hallway was a mistake.
Yeah.
And this is where we have this scene where Mary very imperiously turns to Mona and says, well, yeah, it is a mistake.
My God. Chill out, Capricorn.
Bitch.
God.
I'm like, calm down. First of all, it's not your house.
Uh-huh.
It's Janelle's house.
Yep.
Second, like, where are you getting this attitude from? Is this
so
like
snooty.
a snapshot of maybe how she spoke to Janelle and Christine when they became wives and
Probably.
entered the family? I was like, ew.
Super critical. Like, shut up.
Very
Mary.
superior.
Yep. And then we find out later in the season that she's the one that's delayed and can't get into her house before Christmas, even though her kid's the only one that wants to be. Like, Leon literally told her, I don't want anything for Christmas except to be in the house. And then Mary probably was so critical in her house. If she's like this, speaking like this about Janelle's house, who she doesn't even have to live with, imagine how bad she is in her own house. Actually, I wanted the blinds to look like this. And actually, there was supposed to be crown molding over here. And actually.
Right, totally. You know she's been doing that.
Yes.
And
super
so
annoying.
she's going to be the wife who doesn't get to be in her house on Christmas. And I'm just like, cry harder, baby.
Seriously.
I love to see it.
I can't wait to see her sob about it because it's all her own fault.
Yes.
And then after the homes, then we get into the college discussions with Mykelti and Aspen and Leon.
Yes. Apparently, Aspen is just fine to go to UNLV, where Logan is currently attending university. Mykelti is still in high school.
Yeah.
She's 16 years old, but she's been, I guess, accepted to the College of Southern Nevada on some sort of high school college program where she can go to high school but get college credits and maybe even her associate's degree so that then she can jet off to New York, honey, so she can go to the Fashion Institute of
Something.
Design and Manufacturing at $40,000 a year, which Christine cannot afford, but she wants to be a fashion designer. which is great. And then we have Leon, who wants to go to Westminster College in Utah because it is close to Leon's friends and family. And of course, Leon wants to continue in the polygamist lifestyle.
Yeah. Leon wants to live plural marriage, and Leon wants to be a pediatrician, which is just really funny because I wonder if Leon watches these older seasons and just cringes at themselves, because I would, because that's so embarrassing. Like when I was Leon's age, I was like, I'm going to be a neuroscientist. I'm going to get my PhD. And then I got my associate's degree and never went back. I was like, fuck this shit. I don't want to be in school for 17,000 years and have to work on brains and stuff. No thanks.
And take out like all those student loans, probably.
Oh my God.
Which actually becomes kind of an issue that we get into within this episode. But Mary and Cody travel with Leon up to Lehigh and take Leon to Westminster. We have the scene where they all meet with the director of admissions. And the first thing Cody says out of his dumb mouth is, "You do understand that we're polygamists, right? We're very persecuted. We're fundamentalist Mormons. You've heard of it, haven't you?"
Yeah. Is that okay?
The lady's like, yeah, I live in the heart of Utah. Yeah, I'm absolutely familiar with fundamentalist Mormons. Thanks. It's no problem. We're diverse.
Yeah, diversity is our strength. It's great. And Cody's like, okay, good. I want to make sure.
Yeah, but it's just like another opportunity, just like he took the opportunity last week with the dude who was rappelling down a rock just to tell them that they were polygamous. Like every single opportunity he has to talk about it, he takes it, and he always frames himself as persecuted and some kind of a martyr. And it's just so exhausting because it's clear that he needs this to be his identity so that he can continue to have a show on TLC to keep people interested. And I'm bored.
I am so bored. I'm so bored. And then after the college tour, Leon, Mary, and Cody go and visit the old Lehigh house because apparently they still fucking own it. Like, I don't know why.
Wild, right?
Yeah, I didn't realize this. I thought they got rid of it. They've been in Vegas for over 2 years at this point. Like, why are you keeping this place?
Let me remind you, Janelle tells us, like, after the first year, after they relocated to Las Vegas, like, she was worried about feeding her own kids. She was worried about how they were going to pay the bills. And of course, it's Janelle who does all the numbers and all of the record keeping. And so this shit was keeping her up at night. And you're telling me they had the Lehigh house the entire time?
This entire time.
Now, I do remember that I think family members were living in the Lehigh house at some point after they left. And so maybe they were renting it out and making some income in that way. But after returning to the Lehigh house with Leon and walking through the home, they all agree that they don't feel a connection to it anymore, and maybe it's time to sell it.
This whole thing felt very performative to me because Cody and Mary are like, yeah, that was like a big reason why we kept the Lehigh house, was so that way Leon could live here going to college. Because I guess Leon had expressed previously that they wanted to live in the Lehigh house during college. But then once they're there, and they smell the musty smells and realize that it doesn't smell like their family anymore.
Well, what does your family smell like? I'm concerned.
BO.
Sex smells.
Ew.
Polygamous sex fumes.
Ew. That's so nasty.
And Christine's cooking in the basement.
Oh my God.
The fish fry and the sex fumes. I can't smell the fish fry and the sex fumes.
That's so nasty.
I don't want to be here anymore.
It doesn't feel like home.
I want to live
me.
in the dorms.
I want to have a typical college experience. And Cody's like, yeah, bet. Okay, then we're going to sell the house. And it just feels like they're doing this because they actually do need to sell the house so that way they qualify for the loans in the cul-de-sac homes. That's my opinion.
Right. And that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the money, though, because apparently Westminster is a very expensive college.
Yeah.
And now Leon wants to live in the dorms, and that's going to cost them even more money. And there's a lot of talk in this episode about scholarships, and the kids need to get scholarships because the parents cannot pay for this all on their own. And then we kind of fast forward to season 19, like just a few weeks ago, we've got Mary talking to us, telling us that it was her that actually paid for Leon to go to Westminster. And Leon then goes to Loyola for Leon's master's, and it was Mary that paid for that as well. So I'm not sure if Leon got scholarships. I imagine so, because they come off as quite intelligent. I don't know.
Yeah,
But like Mary was the one who ended up paying for all of that. And let me tell you, having lived in Chicago for 15 years and knowing about a lot of these universities, because I had stepkids, Loyola's expensive. It's prestigious. It's very nice. And so that was a pretty penny, to be sure.
Yeah. And that's what makes me wonder. I'm like, did Mary keep all of the student loans in her name? Does Leon got any student loans in their name? Like, do they even have any debt? Were they so spoiled that their mom just got to pay for all of that shit and they didn't have to deal with any of the repercussions? Because I don't know. Leon kind of strikes me as spoiled in all of these earlier episodes.
Very much so. And let me remind you that Mary has taken out 3 loans for the haunted B&B, the most recent loan sometime in 2024. So maybe if she's rolling in like student loans or like paying for university, like maybe some of that makes sense. But it's just the incredible burden that Mary ended up having to bear. And they kind of talk in this episode about how the family pools the money to send the children to school. And like, it doesn't matter what kid it is, they're all going to have the same opportunity. But I feel like it didn't end up being that way.
No.
Because for some reason, I feel like Robin's current college age kids are getting a full ride on Cody and Robin's dime.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that like Logan had to pay his way through college. I mean, he's working at UNLV in the admissions center and everything. So I'm sure he's paying his own way. Maybe all the loans are in his name. Same thing with Aspen. Same thing with McKelty. Leon maybe took the loans out in their name, but maybe it's all Mary because Mary spoils the fuck out of Leon. But Robin's kids, they never had to know real struggle.
No, probably not. No. Probably not.
No, no way. And then after the whole college tours, then we have Aspen going to UNLV and Logan gives the tour around the college. And this is where Aspen makes some comment of like, you know, I feel like Logan took the whole leaving the nest thing way to the extreme and now he just like never comes around anymore. And like he just forgot about all of his responsibilities at home. He just took it to the extreme.
Well, the first time we recorded this, you said that you were actually like pretty disappointed in Aspen for saying that and you felt it was a shitty comment. And I said, and I will say again, that when you think about the fact that Aspen at this point, like right before she goes off to university, she's completely a part of the Borg.
Yeah.
She's completely a part of the Brown Matrix and she only sees through the filter and the perception of their polygamist weird ass family. You know, years later when she's married to Mitch and she's living in Salt Lake City and her brain is fully formed, she can look back and absolutely recognize the fact that Logan was parentified and she was parentified and she's probably old enough and intelligent enough to know now that that is a form of abuse. And so she does not blame Logan. And I actually loved hearing Logan talk about this because Logan, according to him, he says he actually gets back to the family like once or twice a month, every 2 weeks or whatever. And that's enough. Like he wants to be able to be separate enough so that he can grow. He's not worrying about whether he wants to be a fucking polygamist. He's not worried about whether he even wants to be a Mormon. He's just trying to be here now, experience this new experience for himself without like the pressure of having to be responsible for 13 other children. Like Logan gets it.
I know.
Logan knows. And Logan has been preparing for quite some time to detach from these people.
And it's really awesome. Like he's saying all of this at 18. Like when I finally left my house at 20, I felt so much guilt because I was parentified my entire fucking childhood and teens. So when I left and I'm like being my own adult, I'm like, man, should I go back? Should I go back and like help my sister who's an adult now? Like she could leave too. I felt really bad. So Logan just being like, I come around enough. You guys see me every few weeks. Like, I'm just spreading my wings. I've got my walls up. Like, I'm learning to fly, bitch. Leave me alone.
We love that for him. But, like, then we get to Cody. And Cody actually speaks to camera and says something like, I really miss Logan.
Boo-hoo.
We used to have a lot of deep conversations. We used to spend a lot of time talking, and now we just don't do that anymore. And Cody actually says that Logan has walls up. And Christine, who's sitting next to him on the couch, agrees and says, yeah, like he's got walls up now. Like that's a boundary.
Yep.
This boy is creating and enforcing boundaries, and this is what we love to see.
And this is all also just like a natural part of growing up. Like when you leave the nest, like you're trying to figure your shit out. And so, yeah, you have some boundaries with your parents because you're trying to separate. That's like a natural progression of life. And so I'm like, I don't care, Cody. Like, cry me a river. Because at this point in time in 2025, I'm like, you don't even talk to Logan.
No,
you
not
don't
at
even
all.
talk to any of these kids. And you wonder why they all hate you.
Yeah, you don't give a shit.
Like, so fuck off.
Yep.
Literally.
Agreed.
And then we get to the best part of the episode where the family goes to another expo.
Yeah.
In Las Vegas. It's a Christmas bazaar. And they're bringing all of their shitty ass, expensive ass, ugly ass jewelry to this expo. And they're hoping it's going to be more successful than the one in St. George.
So let me just set this up for everybody, okay? Because I did already talk about it a little bit, but again, the St. George Expo was around a bunch of judgmental Mormons who hated polygamists. And so this is why they think, the Browns think, they didn't sell any jewelry in St. George's because nobody liked them. They all thought they were awful, culty, terrible people.
Yep.
And so we're going to go to Vegas now for the Christmas Expo, and Las Vegas is tolerant. Nobody gives a shit if we're polygamists. So they are expecting to sell a lot more than 19, which is what they sold in St. George. Well, guess how much they sold in Las Vegas?
18.
It was 18. Well, it ended up being 19 because she miscounted, but it was like the exact same
Literally
number.
the exact same.
Which, again, you'd think would cause you to stop Hammer Time.
Yeah.
And like look at your product, look at your pricing and see if, well, like where the problem is, because it's not actually geography.
Yeah.
It's you, bitch.
Yeah.
It's the shit that you're designing, bitch. That's the problem. But I'm fast forwarding. Let's stay in the expo for a moment.
Yeah.
Because they get to the expo, they lay everything out, and Robin is really nervous.
Yeah.
She's just waiting for that first sale, because once that first sale comes, I'll feel so much better, and then we'll start selling and selling and selling and selling.
Well, and she does say this was their fastest sell ever at an expo because they sold something within 30 minutes or something like that. And she was like, that is amazing. That means we're successful. But listen, when they were at this expo and the camera crew is zooming in on all of their ugly, shitty jewelry designs, they zoomed in on some of those price tags, and I was pausing every second I could so I could figure out how much they were selling some shit. They had one piece that was called like Friends Forever or something, and it was like a necklace. $222. $222 for a necklace.
I am so glad you did that, because I was wondering last week, like I didn't know what the price range was, like what are the lower cost items, what are the higher cost items, but you said like you paused it on the price sheet and the lowest cost item was what?
They had like a list of all their items and all of their collections and how much it was, and I paused it and it was kind of blurry, but I could make out some of it, and like the lowest priced one that I could see on there was like $70.
$70
for like probably one of their like little bands of rings or something.
Right, which they probably paid a manufacturer to make for maybe $5 or $10 or at the most $20. But like the markup that they're putting on this awful jewelry is wild. It's fantastic. And just, can I give you some perspective, please? So, and sidebar. So I used to have like retreats and things that I would do, and I would have a bunch of merch that I would take and that I would sell. And when I tell you like what I sold necklaces. I sold crystal necklaces.
Well, but they were crystals.
Oh, they were crystals. I sourced them very specifically.
Yeah.
There was a whole lot that went into it. They were so beautiful. I've given you a couple of these.
Yes,
so
I have several
freaking gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I would set them out on a table in the conference room, and I wasn't even finished announcing them, and people were getting up out of the seats and going there and picking their crystals. I was still talking about them, and they were almost all gone because they were beautiful, because they were priced right, and because they were special. And plus I knew my audience. I knew who was in the audience and what they wanted.
Yeah.
So this is kind of what I'm talking about, is just like the disconnect that exists. They're trying to create products for an audience that they don't understand. The products themselves are butt ugly, and then they're super overpriced.
Like so crazy. And there's no gemstones in any of the designs at all. Like they're just really shitty, cheap silver and like crazy designs like SW that looks like something you would buy at fucking Claire's for your 8-year-old daughter.
Like the font of the SW necklace is like a Disneyland Mickey Mouse, like literally a Mickey Mouse font.
Yeah.
Super fat, ugly font. I'm like, whoa. First of all, why am I buying a necklace that says SW unless my name is Sarah Wallace? Like, I'm not going to buy something that says sister wives when I am not a sister wife.
No.
And most of your audience, we're not polygamous. We're watching you because you're an oddity, because you have an alternative lifestyle.
Yep.
So I don't want to wear something that makes people think I'm part of that lifestyle if
Why
what I'm
would
really
I?
doing is just watching a show.
Yep.
So create something for me, which would be a t-shirt, like Christine said,
Or a fucking mug.
a keychain, a trucker's
sticker,
cap,
yeah.
something like that.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. And like, they even had Claudia stuff, which is a symbol of their union, their love. And I'm not saying that nobody has Claudias. Like, Claudias are pretty.
They're
like,
common.
And they're common. But like, they were marketing it specifically as like their Claudia, like love union and everything. And that was like $180.
Yeah, that's too expensive. Like with the Claudia, see, that's an idea that would apply to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the market is probably saturated with Claudia rings because we've all heard of this before. And
Right.
We've probably, if we wanted one, we would have already had it.
Duh.
So this isn't anything special or anything new. And plus, you were charging me way too much money for it. So again, this just harkens back to the reality that they don't have a mind for business.
Not
At all. And after the failure of this expo, they returned to Mary's house in the Mormon conference table, to download once again about how well they did. And Robin seems so proud of herself that they made a profit of $700.
Yeah.
For 5 people working all day at an expo. That's not even minimum wage.
No.
And I don't believe her also, Beatrice.
Me neither.
That was profit.
No, because she's like saying that they made $700 in profit, and Cody's like, is that minus everything else? And she's like, yeah, I minused this and I minused that. But then she forgot how many sales that they did.
Right.
Like, she thought it was 18, it was actually 19. And she's subtracting like the cost of their manufacturing, I guess, which is like $2, and like the cost of gas to drive up to the expo. Like, I don't know. But Janelle is being realistic here, and she's listening to this and she's like, you know what? This really isn't worth my time and energy. Like, I really have to disengage. I know I said last episode.
Just last episode. She just had an epiphany in the last episode that she was going to be a part of this.
But actually, just kidding. Because after I drove home from this expo on Friday night, I realized that this is a colossal fucking failure. It's not going to make enough money for me to put food on my table. I have to focus on something realistic like my real estate business.
Right. And I want to draw your attention to the energy that Janelle brought into that meeting, because she sat down looking defensive. She sat down looking like she was ready for some kind of a fight. And this further validates for me that the reason Janelle even went to Robin's home in the last episode to tell her, I've had an epiphany and I want to help you more, was because Cody put a battery in her back. She did that because she had a conversation with Cody, and Cody said, I really need you to step up and I really need you to help Robin and get this done. Then they go to the expo in Vegas. And so the polygamy thing, the specter of polygamy should not affect it. And Janelle sees it makes absolutely no difference. So she goes to this meeting after that expo and she's ready to fight with Cody. And she's ready to tell Robin. And she's expecting that fight because she knows Cody is the one who told her to participate. And Cody even says at the table, well, like, you're giving up already?
Yes.
And Janelle's like, no, I'm still going to do my plus size Holy Mormon underwear line. And I still have plans to do all of that shit. But like, I got kids.
Yeah.
I got kids.
I got a lot of
I have to
kids.
feed my kids. And so what the fuck do you expect me to do? You ain't working for this family.
She's coming in full Taurus.
She's coming in hot.
Yeah.
She's coming in hot.
She's ready to fucking fight. And I mean, I'm right there with her.
Yeah.
Why would I waste time going to expo after expo for it to be a fucking failure because our prices are too high and we're selling weird Disney fucking ball sack jewelry? It's crazy.
Yes.
But when Janelle says I'm going to disengage, then Christine pipes up and says, but I'm ready to engage more.
Good news. I'm on board. And I'm right here with you, Robin. And I'm going to be giving you more time and more energy because I am absolutely unwilling to work as hard as Mona said I would have to work if I wanted to be a real estate agent. I'm not interested in working that hard. So I'll just throw you some of this energy.
Yep.
And Robin smiles and she's like, oh, that's great. But you already know. She's
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck.
Great.
I got to spend more time with Christine. That is not what I wanted.
Yep.
And then on the couch, we've got everybody on the couch, and Christine's like, I just realized I really need to support Robin's dream.
Yeah.
This is her dream, and I want to support her. I want to be a good sister wife, which shows me that Christine has also had a conversation with Cody, and probably the reason she's piping up at this meeting is because Cody has told her, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Support Robin. She's trying really hard. She's taking her sketchbook to Starbucks and she's sitting there praying first. And then she's designing these necklaces. So you get your happy ass over to Robin's house and you help her. And so now here comes Christine.
Yeah. And I could see that. I also thought Christine's comment was a little bit passive aggressive to Robin, because up until this point, Robin has been very clear to say it's not just my dream. It's the family business. I want to do this with my sister wives because I think it could be successful for the entire family. It's not just about me.
Right.
But now Christine's like, no, Robin, I'm here to support your dream.
Oh.
I'm here to support you because, it's all about you.
Oh, wow. That's like 3 layers down of like subtext. But I mean, I wouldn't put it past her.
That's what I would do.
For calling Robin out for that. And really, this is a vanity project.
Yeah.
For Robin.
100%. And Cody.
And Cody. Well, Cody still doesn't seem very interested in this. He still seems very motivated by the bottom line and the profit and the money. But like you can tell he's going out of his way to do what he can to speak for and support Robin.
Yep. That's all it's about.
And I did want to say that it seems to me that it's around this time, and this has got to be like, what, 2012, 2011, 2013 or something like that. This is around the time that it's really becoming obvious to me that Cody is favoring Robin a lot, trying to speak up for Robin, trying to maneuver the other wives to support Robin. So he's starting to run this campaign and agenda that obviously over time just gets worse and worse and more obvious. Yeah. But to me, it's starting right about now.
Oh, yeah. It's been going on for a while in my
opinion. I know
opinion.
He's favored her. He loves her and he's having great sex and all that. And she's probably breakdancing in the bedroom. But like he's still, in my opinion, he still loved his other wives. He still loved his other families. But we're starting to see him pivot away from that and more towards Robin.
Well, and he keeps making comments about how it's so crazy to work with all of these women and like, oh God, I'm losing my sanity having to work with all these women. And it's like, but this is the lifestyle you chose though. Yeah. You can't pretend to act like a martyr and a victim for this lifestyle that you chose and then also bitch about, oh my God, my wives. I got to work with my wives.
Right.
It's like so annoying.
Then don't be a polygamist. I mean, it's not that hard.
Just have one wife and it'll be way easier for you.
Still hard, but easier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we get to the preview for next week, which I'm excited about because we see Mary crying.
And you love that. You love when that happens.
I love when anyone cries on this show because they're all so stupid. But Mary's crying because she is disappointing Leon because she's not getting her paperwork turned in on time. And her house is probably delayed. We know this already. And she doesn't get into the house before Christmas. And now she's got to break the news to Leon because all Leon wanted for Christmas was to get in their house.
And can I just say, like, as a parent, one thing I was very mindful of with my child was not to like set her expectations in a way that I could not guarantee that I would satisfy and fulfill them. Like I wouldn't promise her something or like get her hopes up if I knew there was a good chance it wasn't going to work out. Like I might have talked about it and say, hey, like there's a chance this could happen, but like don't get your hopes up because I cannot control it. That's what I would have done. But it feels like to me like Mary has really oversold getting into the cul-de-sac, having her own place, being a family again. And so now that's all Leon wants, and you can't blame Leon for that. But I blame Mary for just being a bad parent around that.
Yep, and then being so selfish because you are intentionally delaying your house with all of the additions that you're adding, your stupid fucking wet bar.
Not getting your paperwork in time, last episode. Like, what is more important, Mary, than getting your fucking paperwork in, especially if you've promised your child that you were going to be in by Christmas?
Yep, your only child.
I don't understand.
It doesn't make any sense.
Don't gotta.
And then we have Christine admitting that she wasn't a good sister wife. And it's probably like you said, she got a talking to from Cody. And so now she is crying on the couch and saying she wasn't being a good sister wife to Robin. And then we have Robin saying that she wants to have Dayton and Brianna to see the houses when they get finalized before they go to Montana, but she doesn't really say why they're going to Montana, but we know probably that it's to go visit their real dad.
Right. Bio dad, David Jessup. But she wants the kids to see it before they go. And I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I can't wait to see.
Me too.
Well, this was fun.
So much
even
fun.
on the second time around.
You wouldn't know because we're professionals.
Is there anything else that we should be saying to these raccoons before we get up out of here, Beatrice?
Well, if you love our podcast, please go to your favorite podcast platform and leave us a glowing 5-star review. Really helps us grow the pod so more raccoons can join us in the dumpster. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
We will be back tomorrow to talk about your calls in via SpeakPipe. You all have a lot of opinions.
A lot.
And you want to share them, and we want to hear them. So do come back for that. We'll also be back next week, of course, to continue the Sister Wives conversation. And until then, please do not forget that we have nothing but love for you. And peace out.
Bye.
Bye, guys.